How's it going, everybody? My name is Lucian. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to set up SCUM, a dedicated server on your own hardware. Let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to want to do is download the Steam CMD. So we're just going to search for Steam CMD here. And for me, it's the first link. I'm going to click on that. Then we're going to click here on Windows. And then we're going to click this very top link right here. Now download the archive. Open it up. We're going to open up the balance folder. We're going to right click on that and extract it. And then we don't need to show it. We're just going to hit extract. And we're going to take this and do Control X to cut it. I'm going to go into the C drive and we're going to make a new folder. I'm going to call it servers. Enter, go into that folder, and then we're going to paste the Steam CMD folder, and then we're going to create a new folder, and we're going to call it SCUM. Then what we want to do is we're going to create a batch file. Call it whatever we want. So we'll go new text document. Make sure you have the .txt. If you don't see the extension, what you're going to want to do is if you go to view and go to show, then make sure you have file name extensions turned on. So once that's done, we're going to want to rename this. We'll call it start server.bat. Hit enter. This will pop up. That's if you want to save it. We're going to hit yes on that. And then from there, I already have a script written up for us that I'm going to copy and paste in here. And I'll include that script down in the description below so you guys can also use it as well. So we're just going to paste that in here. And then we're going to change a few things. So what I'm going to want to do is go ahead and minus the browser. We're going to get some paths here. So for our SCUM, this is where our server files are going to install. I'm just going to click up here to get the path. Control C that. And then for the Steam path right here, the server path. Sorry, we're going to do the installation path. Not the equal. There we go. Alright, so that's going to be where the game installs at. And then we need the path for the Steam CMD. So we'll go back here, go back to servers, Steam CMD. We're going to highlight that, copy it, and we're going to paste that right here. And then for this part, we're going to basically take this right here and just replace it where it says up to your. Then we're going to save it. Then we're going to close this. Now, before we run this, there's a couple things we're going to need. We're going to need DirectX and all the redistributed files. So if you're running this on the server, like I am, you're not going to have this stuff pre-installed. However, if you're running this on your home computer, you probably already have all this stuff installed and you can go ahead and run the bat file. But if you don't, let's open up the browser again real quick. We're going to type in DirectX, and then we're going to click this link right here to download DirectX. My language is English, so I'm going to click on download. Next thing we're going to need is the redistributed files for C++, which we can get right here for Tech Power Up. We're just going to click this link right here, and then we're going to click download right here. And this will download the zip file. Click whatever server or mirror you're going to want. Let me go ahead and minus that out because, to be honest with you, that website just flashbanged me. Alright, so let's go into our downloads folder. And then we're going to extract the runtime real quick. Let's extract all. And let's go ahead and show. Let this extract real quick. And then the install.bat, we're going to right click and run that as administrator. And then hit yes. And we're just gonna wait for all these to install real quick. Alright, now that that's done, we're going to want to install the DirectX. And hit yes on this. And then we're just going to follow the prompts and install the bin bar. And we're going to wait for this to install. Alright, while that's installing, let's go ahead and open up the port in our firewall. So we're going to hit the start bar and type in firewall. Click on advanced here. And once that's open, we're going to go to inbound rules, click new rule. We're going to click on port. We're going to hit next. TCP 7779. Hit next. Next. And then next, leaving all those settings as default. We'll just call it 7779 TCP. Finish. I'm going to do that one more time for I don't know if it requires UDP or not, or if it requires TCP or not. It doesn't say, so we're just going to open them both up for now. And if I find out later, then I'll just leave a note in the pinned comment. I'm going to call this one UDP, again leaving all those other settings at default. Hitting finish, and then both those ports are done, and we're done with the firewall. And we're still waiting for DirectX to finish, so we're going to go ahead and wait on that. Alright, now that's finished, we're going to click on finish, close that one, we'll go back to our server folder here. And we're going to, I don't know why I put this in here. We're actually going to like to put that in the actual SCUM folder here. This is where all our server files are going to get installed to. So we're going to go ahead and run this, and this should automatically start to install SCUM for us in the path that we set in the config file there, which is to the folder we just opened up. And then we're going to wait for this to finish up. Alright, and once it's done installing, the server will automatically start up, and you may or may not get this little pop-up. If you do get it, just hit allow. Now, if you get any errors by the time the server is done downloading and starts up, like DLL errors, then you're going to want to go back into the video and make sure that you have everything installed that I installed in the beginning of the video, like all the redistributable files, along with DirectX. We can hit spacebar and then close it out. Now, the server's running, well, it's booting up, and then all of our files are right here. So all the server settings that we're going to want are right under SCUM, and then save, config, Windows Server. Then we have all the admin users and everything like that. So we can, let's say if we want to make ourselves an admin, we need to open this up in like Notepad or something. And then you just paste like your Steam 64 ID in there, and then save it, and then close it. Then I'm going to go ahead and stop the server real quick. I don't want that to keep running because we're going to be making some changes. Then you have all your other stuff, your game user settings. Then we have server settings here. So if we open up this up, you can see we can change the name of the server, your description, if you want your password, the max players, all that fun stuff. So all your settings that you want, message of the day, everything is all going to be in here. Change these settings to whatever you desire. Once you have all these settings set up, you can save it and then rerun the server. So we'll call it Solution Biz Server, just as an example here, so I can change something. Save it, and then we'll close it. And then we'll go back to our main folder here, SCUM, And then every time we run the .bat file right here, it will check for updates, and if it's fully up to date, it'll go to start the server, or if it needs an update, it'll update it and then start the server. So let's go ahead and start it back up now that we've made whatever changes we wanted to make. And since we closed it, it's going to check for updates. It saw that there was no updates because we just installed it, and now the server's booting back up. And then we'll wait for the server to boot up. You will see red and yellow error messages flying through here. Nothing to be super duper worried about. When I tested this out before I recorded the video, everything was still working fine. So no major issues or anything like that. We're gonna wait a minute for this to go ahead and run up everything. So while this is starting up, one thing I do want to point out, if you're running this locally, in order to connect to it, the easiest way is just direct connect to your server. So if we go to the start menu and type in CMD real quick, and then if we type in ipconfig, since I use IPv4 addressing, this is what my local IP address is. So this is what I'm going to want to use to connect to the server. However, if let's say you're renting a Windows server, like a VPS or something, you'd use the public IP address. So you wouldn't be using the local, you'd be using the public. But if you're hosting it on your own network, let's say you're hosting it on a extra computer that you have just sitting around somewhere, you're going to want to use the local IP address, which you can find just by typing in ipconfig. So remember that IP address, because we're going to be using that to actually connect to the server. All right, so once you see this message right here, your server should be up and running. So we're going to go ahead and launch the game and connect to the server. All right, now that the game is open, we're going to click on multiplayer. And right here on connect, you're going to type in your IP address, and then we're going to hit connect. A little message will pop up. We're just going to hit I understand. And then we're going to wait a minute while it connects us to the server. And just like that, we're connected to the server, and we're able to create our character, adjust whatever settings we want to adjust, and log in. And that's going to be it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I hope this was able to help you. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.